Welcome back. Right now, I'm absolutely honored to be speaking with Johanna Liauw all about her new film coming out with Netflix. It's called Tall Girl 2. It's actually out now and you can watch it. Johanna started her career in the pandemic, so I'm very excited to hear all about her history and her successes. Thanks so much for being here. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
So let's start with this very exciting recent release of Tall Girl 2. Tell me more about the role that you play in that film.
So I play the character of Stella, and she is Stig's sister. She comes over to visit him, and she basically hangs out most with her brother and Dunkelman. And yeah, she kind of just pops in here and there with just her cute little energy. So I don't know.
Would you describe it as a dramatic role, a comedic role,
No,
a
it's definitely more of
combination?
a comedic role for me. This is my first comedic role, so it was a little bit nerve-wracking because I've never done it before. I've played more dramatic villainous roles before, so it was a nice change of pace.
Yeah, did you enjoy that? Do you hope to do more comedy roles, or was it a bit too out of your comfort zone? You do a great job, by the way.
Thank you. I think just because it was like a um, new territory for me, uh, to do a comedic role, I had a little bit of intimidation, I guess. But after doing it, I feel like I definitely want to do more comedy roles. I think I just got to get out of my head and just be in the moment and enjoy it. So
What do you think it is about this film, Tall Girl 2, that really resonates with audiences?
well, Jodie's journey specifically, I think what she goes through is very relatable, especially for kids right now, especially with what we went through in the pandemic. You know, I think a lot of us went kind of deep into our head and we get stuck there. So I think it's kind of inspiring to see her work through those, you know, issues and have that support system like her family and her close friends. She gets through it. So I think that's inspiring and nice to see, on screen.
I understand that you started your career during the pandemic, which is a huge feat to be able to start during that time. So I'm curious, before the pandemic, did you always want to be an actress? And was it that moment that you really took advantage of to really get into the career?
I knew, since I was little, I wanted to do something creative. I always leaned towards acting. I just never knew how I would get my start in it. And then after I moved out to LA, um, I was only here for about 2, 3 months before the pandemic hit. So I was like, oh, great. Like, now what? But I'm grateful that it worked out for me. I just put my mind towards acting and focused on that, and was like, well, I can't do anything else. I might as well just have fun with it because who knows where it's going to go. Everything's up in the air right now. So thankfully, I don't know, I guess that energy resonated with the universe and they're like, yeah, let's give her some stuff. She's got the right mindset. So
You started this series, Quarantine Leap. How did you get involved in this project?
so that was me just going through Actors Access and submitting for things, and I came across that one. I thought it was very interesting. I actually submitted the role was for a gothic girl, so that was what I submitted my audition as. So I wore a black wig and did that. And then after talking to James, he was like, I want to work with you, but I think we should spin it to a supermodel leap. And I was like, I'm down for that. So we went from there. It was a really good creative process too, because I had to film everything because we were in quarantine. Um, so I was understanding how much work goes into each shot, and that's just on my phone. So imagine on a set doing all those scenes, doing multiple takes, setting up lighting and stuff like that. It's intense. A lot goes into getting the perfect shot of a scene.
I'm sure you had to learn a lot very quickly on your own too. What has it been like going from that opportunity where that was really your breakout role in a sense, but you had to do everything yourself, to starring in a much bigger production, Tall Girl 2? Tell me more about how one led to the other and that transition for you.
I mean, I think with every role, there's a little bit of a challenge there. Otherwise, it's not like stimulating enough, I guess. So with quarantine leave, that was me basically getting the basics down and understanding what it takes to put what we got to put into making something. And then with Tall Girl 2 with Stella, I had to do an accent, and I was very intimidated by that because I was like, I know I might do an accent at some point in my career, but right off the gate, I was like, oh, okay, we'll do it. But I'm a little bit nervous. And I think I did a great job. I'm proud of myself. I powered through. I didn't give up. And that's what means the most to me. And to go from projects that are like more indie film, I guess, to working with Netflix, I've never had a bad experience. But with Netflix, everything was just like, you go on set and they're like ready to go. With other productions, it's like you go and they're still like getting the lighting right, and like you just got to be patient and stuff. But it's all like fascinating watch to me. I don't know.
You sound very willing to do something out of your comfort zone, to push through fear, to learn how to do new things. So do you have any advice for people who may find themselves in positions where they're a little unsure and they really want to push through the fear but don't really know how? What's your tips for working with that, for being able to move forward despite being afraid?
I mean, coming from me, I have suffered from anxiety for as long as I can remember. I think having a great support system, I have like my mom and my sister, and they give sound advice. My best friend is also always there for me. But I also went to therapy, and I think that really helped because she gave me tools to have whenever I need it. And also getting into like spirituality and reading books on that, you kind of understand, you are a magical being, and this is a human experience and you should enjoy it. And yes, anxiety is an emotion and you should just let it pass through, but know that that's not your you're defining who you are. So I think remembering that, and like I've done this before. This is not like my first reincarnation. So I just got to get past that fear and power through and not let that negative voice in my head bring me down. And then it's easy going after that.
I understand you are a mental health advocate. You mentioned that you struggle with anxiety. I'm really so glad that you're willing to be open and talk about this. I think it's so important for other people to hear your experiences. Did you ever feel hesitant to talk about your mental health?
Absolutely not. I think it's something that we all should share with each other because we're all going through something. And I think the more we talk about it, the more we can help each other. And I think as a country, we should focus more on making that easily accessible to everybody, because I think therapy helped me tremendously in the long run.
And Johanna, how can we get more information about you, follow along with your career? I know it's just going to get bigger and bigger, and I'm excited to see what else you do, what else you conquer, and also learn more and watch Tall Girl 2.
So I only have Instagram, so if you want to hop on there and check out what I'm doing, I post here and there. You can follow me at Johanna Liauw. It's just my name, very simple. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what this year holds and the future in general. So.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure meeting you, Johanna. Really appreciate you taking time with us today. Congratulations on this big role in Tall Girl 2. You can watch it now on Netflix. And we are excited, Johanna. I hope that you will continue to keep us in mind. I'd love to talk to you again as you expand your career and do more things. So thanks so much. We'll be back with more right after this.